Hi Marwa, this is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT. So you've been working over the last few weeks on your pronunciation so that you can score higher on the speaking section of the exam. So here we have now come to the TOEFL pronunciation post-test. Now I'm going to listen to you read these paragraphs. I'll provide you some feedback, then we'll get to these Part B interview questions in just a minute. So let's see how.
When two people are talking to each other, they tend to stand a specific distance apart.
Good. So just remember that the two people, don't forget to pronounce that P with a little bit more air there. When two people.
Each person has an invisible boundary around his/her body into which other people may not come.
So if you're pacing or pausing, each person has an invisible boundary around his or her body into which other people may not come. So I think you should have a little bit more of a pause after the word body there.
If someone pierces this boundary, he will feel uncomfortable and move away to increase the distance between them.
Good. I like how move away, you're taking that V and connecting it to the first vowel of the next word. That's good linking.
The major exception is family members and other loved ones. This personal distance is not due to body odor or bad breath, but because closeness leads a sense of intimacy that's at odds with the relationship to the other individual.
You had a little bit of trouble with the linking here. It's but because closeness lends a sense of intimacy that is at odds with the relationship of the other individual. So you had trouble with that one, and also that is at odds. You had trouble with linking in those two thought groups.
Interestingly, the average personal distance varies from culture to culture.
And then that word varies. You need to pronounce that V with more vibration. Varies from culture to culture.
Americans tend to require more personal space than other cultures. Therefore, if you try to get too close to an American during your conversation, he or she will feel that you're in his face and will try to back away. Try to be aware of this. So, if the person to whom you're speaking backs away a little, don't try to close that gap.
Okay, good. I like how your tone kind of went up a little bit after a little, and then your tone fell when you got to the end of it.
Also try to avoid physical contact while you're speaking, since this may lead to discomfort.
A little bit of trouble there, you might say. Also, try to avoid physical contact while you're speaking, since this may also lead to discomfort. So more of a distinct pause right after speaking, and then your tone falls when you get to the end there.
Touching is a bit too intimate for casual acquaintances. So don't put your arm around his/her shoulder, don't touch his/her face, or hold his/her hand. Shaking hands when you initially meet or part is acceptable, but this is the only momentary.
Okay. So now we're getting to these interview questions, and this gives me more information about your pronunciation and your speaking overall. So I'm just taking some notes right now. So linking, maybe thought groups, probably a little bit more practice in those areas. Okay, let's keep.
Who is your best friend? Why is this person important to you? Use supporting examples.
Okay.
My best friend, her name is Vanessa.
I'll say, my best friend, whose name is blah, 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 and then maybe continue this sentence. So use a little bit more advanced grammar.
She's important to me because she's really nice.
So my best friend whose name is blah, blah, blah is important to me because, so if you use the word whose, W-H-O-S-E, that's going to show you have a little bit more advanced grammar. So I also need to focus on your speaking, your grammar, vocabulary, all of those things as I listen to the.
And honest and supportive to me. As for example, she is nice, she's always smiling and kind.
So saying as for example, just say for example or for instance or to illustrate.
To me and my family. She's supportive as, let's say for example, when my brother passed away, she supported me. She never left me. She supported me emotionally.
Good example.
And at the same time, she took care of my son. She used to take him out to the park or to play areas to play with her kids. I really love this person and respect her a lot.
Good example.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? What will you be doing? Be sure to explain your ideas and supporting details. I see myself 5 years from now working as a pharmacist.
Okay.
Most probably in a compounding pharmacy, because this is my favorite part of pharmacy. I like compounding medications like creams, ointments, and pain medications. What is your favorite season of the year?
Okay.
Fall, winter, spring, or summer? Be as specific as possible. My favorite season of the year is spring, as the weather is at its best, especially here in the state of Florida where I'm living since 10 years now.
Let me check your language use there. Hold on.
Most probably in a compounding pharmacy, because this is my favorite part of pharmacy. Ointments and pain medication. What is your favorite season of the year? Fall, winter, spring, or summer? Be as specific as possible.
Okay.
My favorite season of the year is spring, as the weather is at its best, especially here in the state of Florida where I'm living since 10 years now. I can go to summer, be as specific as possible. My favorite
Yeah, I think you want to say they're not since, but for 10 years now.
season of the year is spring, as the weather is at its best, especially here in the state of Florida where I'm living since 10 years now.
Where I have been living for 10 years now is going to be better there, not since. Usually you'll say for plus the time for 7 years, or you could say since 2011 or 2012, I have been living in Florida. You could say it that way also.
I can go to the beach, I can go to the park, I can take my son and go somewhere together. And he loves the beach as well. It's his favorite place to visit.
Okay, so overall, let's take a look at your intelligibility score here so I can kind of see where you are here. Give me a quick second here. Okay, let me look at this. Okay, I think from a scale of 1 to 7, 7 being native speaker, let me take a look at this. Yeah, here's a problem. So you have a variety of grammatical structures with occasional grammatical errors. You use sustained and connected discourse, obvious pronunciation variations, but they do not distract what you're saying. I'm going to put you a high 4 on the intelligibility scale. So how about maybe 4.8 to 5.0? I think based on the post-test, some things that you can review over at my website. Let's go back to the pronunciation section. I think overall, if you controlled your language use and don't have any errors, no major problems with your delivery, I think you could definitely score 26 points or higher based on this post-test, but it's a big if. Okay, here's pronunciation here. Let's take a look at it, see what we have. So maybe speak clearly, lesson number 19. You can review that lesson if you want. And then the other one, maybe you can do a little bit better with the intonation patterns of American English. That's lessons 36 through 40, and then maybe linking, which is part of what I call thought groups and blending, lesson 41 through 44. But I think overall you're looking pretty good. I think if you can get it together and you don't have too many problems in the 3 categories of the rubric, you should be able to score 26. All right, thank you for completing this post-test.